guys, welcome back to my channel where we spill tea left, right, and everywhere in between. In today's video, we are catching you up on the full situation between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and going over what has happened so far in their legal battle. Also, in this video, there might be some triggering discussions relating to domestic violence and abuse. So if these topics are harmful or triggering to you, please be aware of that. We will provide some helpful links in the description related to these topics, so please use those resources if you or someone close to you needs them. Before we get into it, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any new uploads, as we do post new videos every single day. And now let's dive into the situation. A quick catch up for you on the whole thing, as of course headlines are flooded with the very recent court appearances and statements made from both sides. But we on the Hot Tea channel like to be thorough, so we are giving you a little background before diving into the current situation. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard split up their 15-month marriage back in 2016, and since then there has been a lengthy legal battle that has literally lasted longer than their relationship ever did. Amber originally filed for divorce as well as a restraining order after she was photographed in LA with a bruised face, and she claimed that Johnny had attacked her and thrown a phone at her. She wrote in the files that the abuse she suffered from Johnny included not just physical but also emotional and verbal abuse, and Johnny denied all of this. While Amber's temporary restraining order was granted, before the civil trial for that even began, the couple released a statement saying, "Our relationship was intensely passionate and at times volatile, but always bound by love. Neither party has made false accusations for financial gain. There was never any intent of physical or emotional harm." For the divorce settlement, Johnny handed over $7 million to Amber, who apparently said that the money would be donated, and it seemed at the time that both of them were walking away from the entire situation. Oh, but the money did not get donated, by the way, you guys. Listen to this.
Amber Heard admits to withholding millions from Children's Hospital. Amber Heard was forced to admit that she failed to donate $7 million from her divorce settlement to charity as promised. She baited and said she was going to donate her divorce settlement to children, and then she kept the money.
After a little time passed, Amber actually wrote an opinion piece for the Washington Post, and while she made no mention of her now ex-husband, Johnny's name, she was speaking as a quote-unquote public figure representing domestic abuse. Johnny said that this was defamation and hugely damaging to his career. In 2018, Johnny also sued publishers of The Sun, a British newspaper, as they referred to him as a quote wife beater. He lost this case, and the appeal he made for it last year was also denied. Well, let's shoot into this year and what is going on with all of this as of right now.
What kind of mineral spirits thrown in my nose?
Tell people that it was a fair fight and see what the jury and judge think. Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them, Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm victim to this kind, and yes. See how many people believe or try to believe.
What I like about the...
Likely you are aware of what a defamation case. If not, Nate the lawyer posted a super helpful video explaining what that is and also the two types of defamation that there are, including defamation per quad and defamation per se. In Johnny and Amber's case, Johnny's complaint is defamation per se.
So it's easier to win a defamation per se claim than it is a defamation per quad claim.
If someone says something that can be proven to be false, then it might be eligible to fall under defamation. This does not apply to opinions. Furthermore, the statement has to be about you, the plaintiff, and also published to a third party, so in this case, the newspaper or magazine or whatever.
Negligence is your everyday standard for me and you, and an actual malice is a standard for public figures, like Kim Kardashian, Johnny Depp, and so forth.
All of these points or boxes must be ticked for the case to be won for either type of defamation. And again, in Johnny's case, he's going for the hearsay one, so the reputation point will not matter here. The article that Amber wrote, there are 3 lines that Johnny is specifically calling out as defamation. The first is, "I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to be changed." And the second statement was, "Then 2 years ago, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse, and I felt the full force of our culture's wrath for women who speak out." And lastly, "I had the rare vantage point of seeing in real time how institutions protect men accused of abuse." Okay, so we are basically caught up on Johnny and Amber's past, what defamation is pretty much, and as well as why this legal battle is happening currently. You've probably seen the headlines and endless TikToks and drama channels and literally everyone talking about this case, so let's see what has happened this week with everything. So on Wednesday, an audio recording was submitted as evidence to the court, and during this recording, you can hear Johnny and Amber conversing back and forth about a recent argument that they had the night before.
You lost memory last night of kicking me out the door.
There was a lot going on, and I was on an ambient. Like, why are you obsessing over the fact that I can't remember it the way you remembered it? I said I was sorry. I didn't deny it.
I'm not talking.
In this conversation, Amber is saying to Johnny that anytime they argue, he runs away from it, and they will never work it out if he keeps doing that. Johnny says that sometimes it's best to walk away, and that even boxers need breaks during 12-round fights. Also in the recording is a description of another fight the couple had in Australia, where apparently Amber threw a vodka bottle and severed the tip of Johnny's finger. He also describes this while on the stand.
I was leaning in the chair. First bottle went, takes the second bottle, which is the larger one. She threw the large bottle and it made contact. I honestly didn't feel the pain at first.
But during the audio clip that the court reviews, Johnny says that during these fights, when he wants to get away before it all gets worse, she pushes and is right there, and it makes the argument mount to an even higher level. Even when he removes himself further, going from room to room, she persists and comes to find him every time. Another part of the audio that is played that was particularly interesting in my opinion is Johnny saying that Amber throws pots and pans, and Amber is brushing this off and trying her hardest to get away from that topic.
No, you're trying to justify how you don't or do come to the door based on whether I throw pots and pans. It's irrelevant.
I'm justifying how you seem to think that there's this cowardice in me that runs away and I don't fight for you.
And you're justifying that by saying I throw pots and pans? Okay, cool. Let's talk about everything you do wrong.
I'm not the one who...
That very last sentence there, "let's talk about everything you do wrong," it screams blame shift and is a massive example of gaslighting behaviors that are not uncommon in abusive relationships. Most of the audio is similar to this, with Amber very much belittling anything from her own side and negating having any discussion of the physical stuff she herself has handed out. Much like this next clip, which is everywhere right now.
But I was hitting you. It was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, even a lot of fights have been around a long time.
To gaslight is to manipulate someone by psychological means into questioning their own sanity. After the clips conclude, Johnny is asked to explain what happened during that time. He says that was very much the running theme in the relationship, and there was always fighting and the need for a fight. He basically says that he had become used to that.
Sarcastic, demeaning, aggressive, violent, toxic, spew.
The particular situation that Johnny is detailing here is during another argument when he left to take a shower and Amber came and banged on the door until he answered it. He details that he only opened the door a little bit, making sure that he was braced behind it should she try to burst in, and it turns out that his suspicion on that was correct.
She suddenly kind of yelped in pain. She screamed out, "Ow, my toes or my foot or something." I knelt down to have a look.
He continues that this incident went on and Amber kicked the door into his head while he was inspecting her for injury, and then when he stood back up, understandably a little shocked by what had just happened, Amber punched him right in the jaw. The attorney asks Johnny about the recording, and he says that because of Amber's description of what happened just not making sense to him, he recorded because he wanted someone to listen from an objective point of view. This makes sense, as when someone is gaslighting you, you often feel that you've lost your mind or that you've misremembered situations, and it can make you second guess yourself.
I wanted Mr. McGivern to come up and I asked her to tell him what had just happened. And her answer was essentially, I don't know what he's talking about. Nothing happened. He's fine.
Also this week, Amber's former assistant, Kate James, took the stand, and I really gotta say, she is gotta be like the sternest, most like scary person I have literally ever seen. Kate was Amber's assistant from 2012 to 2015, and whilst on the stand, not only did she remain rather short with the questions and the people asking the questions, she also detailed that Amber's character is somewhat questionable. Kate describes her position with Amber being that of a slave and eventually an emotional punching bag, and what's more, she was accepting basically half the wage she would normally accept. The assistant even details an incident where she even asked for a raise from Amber, and Amber spat in her face. Between the job not being what she thought it would be to the position being abruptly terminated, Kate was also questioned about any visible marks on Amber's body, as well as asked if there was ever any signs of abusive behavior that she witnessed coming from Johnny. The answer was no, and what's more, Kate seems to actually be rather fond of Johnny, as the only times that she perks up or even whispers a smile is when Johnny is mentioned. The short of it, the former assistant is very clearly not the biggest fan of Amber's, but she also may have been a good witness for the prosecution, as it gives a very good insight to Amber's character. Something else that is coming to light and being talked about, Amber Heard literally pooping in Johnny's bed on purpose to get him back.
Critical piece of information from the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case. Amber Heard, after an argument with Johnny Depp, took a dump in his bed. The girl left a full-on butt burrito in his bed and then tried to pull the sheets over it and claimed that it was the dog. She smeared the poop everywhere and the maids found it the next day.
For Amber's birthday in 2016, Johnny was running late to her party, which apparently really pissed her off, and he supposedly walked into a, quote, verbal barrage upon arrival to the birthday celebration. He was about an hour late due to meetings with his financial advisors over some missing money. But anyway, she was attempting to fight with him that night, allegedly. When he showed no interest in getting involved with fighting with her, Amber apparently then got physically violent. Johnny says that he sat her down and explained that he was leaving her and, quote, please don't follow me. This allegedly did not go down well and resulted in Amber striking Johnny multiple times, but he did eventually leave to go to his home in the Hollywood Hills. Before Amber took off for Coachella with her friends, she apparently left a gift for him on his bed. Johnny received a picture from his housekeeper of what was obviously human feces on his side of the bed. Apparently, the two didn't speak until about a month later when Johnny's mother passed away. Amber blamed the poop on the bed on her dogs, which are two little teacup Yorkies. Johnny says that he is certain it didn't belong to the dogs. The rather toxic behavior is not exclusive to just Amber's side, though. Also, this week, some audio and video evidence came out in court of Johnny being aggressive as well, and it was kind of concerning. During the trial on Thursday, a video was reviewed of Johnny in their kitchen, angrily smashing cabinets and pouring himself a very large glass of wine before discovering the camera that Amber had set up.
Motherfucker! What happened?
It's clear, in my opinion, that a lot of these incidents are fueled by alcohol and or drugs, which is a great way to take any situation that already has pre-existing turmoil and making it 10 times worse.
Nothing happened this morning.
When Johnny was questioned about this footage, he said that it was illegally filmed. He said that he, quote, assaulted a couple cabinets but never laid a hand on Amber.
You want to see crazy? I'll give you fucking crazy. Crazy.
Have you drunk this whole thing this morning?
Oh, you got this going? You got this going?
I just started it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
Other concerning evidence that was reviewed during the Thursday trial was an audio recording of Johnny attempting to possibly hurt himself.
Don't cut your skin. Please do not cut your skin. Please don't. Don't. Please do not do that. Please do not do that. Please don't. Please don't cut yourself.
You can hear in both parties' voices that this relationship really took them to dark places, and that is so sad to go there, especially when you love the person. I believe that the saying love is blind is so much more than looks and actually more refers to how you let someone treat you as well as in turn how you treat someone else. To the rest of us on the outside, we might say, why didn't they just break up? They were obviously no good for each other. But when you are inside of a situation like that, it's almost comparable to an addiction, and you are so up and down with the emotions, it's hard to keep a straight mind. You become addicted to the person as well as the roller coaster ride of a relationship. There could also be some trauma bonding happening, in which oftentimes couples that fight like this feel stronger or like they have been through so much together after they make up. But it's usually inevitable that another fight is just around the corner. Text messages between Johnny and Amber were also released that show some rather violent language where he describes unaliving Amber as well as what he would do with her body. In other messages, he describes himself as an angry aggro engine and a fucking blackout, screaming obscenities and insulting any fuck who got near. Some other text messages were submitted that detailed that Johnny cut his own fingers off as a reminder to, quote, I should never cut my finger off again. The case is still ongoing and it doesn't seem to be running out of steam anytime soon. It's actually incredible that there is so much evidence in ways of video and audio recordings. One thing that is very clear is that this relationship was incredibly toxic, and there is obviously going to be much more that comes out before all of this is over. But what are your guys' thoughts on this case? Let's discuss in the comments down below. It's always impossible to know what really goes on between people behind closed doors, but I will say that the audio files that were reviewed in court are definitely hard to listen to. And if anyone has ever been in a relationship where they were gaslit or mentally abused, you will probably get a very uneasy feeling when listening to all of that. We will keep an eye out on the story for you guys. Hopefully this video gave you some insight to the past a little bit, as well as some of what's going on currently. Don't forget to leave this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, as we do post new videos every single day. And for now, here is some Johnny Depp eye bleach.
Objection calls for hearsay.
Let me ask you a different question, Mr. Depp.
Yes. Let's let him object to another one. He'd had a conversation with Ms. Heard.
Let's move beyond the conversation that Kevin Murphy had with Ms. Heard.
He said, yes, they had. Okay. It appears that Ms. Heard had told
Hearsay or
not to fight. What she would like for him to cook. That's hearsay, I guess.
I'm not just sure it's often for the truth of the matter asserted.
he got it.
Okay, all right, well then.
I'm learning. To Ms. Heard that
I'll move to strike this as hearsay, Your Honor. And I object.
disturbing. Yes, I looked at papers. Maybe they're hearsay papers. So I can read it out of someone's article, but not from the man's mouth.
I think it's a pretty simple yes or no question, which is
You'd like it to be, sir. Nothing simple in this case.
Other than
October is 2 months before December. That's correct.
this was a document that you signed as part of your divorce proceedings, correct?
That's my signature indeed. Yes.
Mr. Depp, that is your signature on the right, correct?
Yes, it is.
This is a document you signed, right?
For the third time, that is my signature, yes.
Good. And that was a document you signed in August of 2016. Correct?
Is that the same one that I signed 3 times before? Yes,
Yeah.
that's the
Well, I wanted to make clear that you signed that in the summer of 2016. Objection calls for hearsay.